What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. In today's episode, we're going to be talking briefly about the Chicago Bulls loss last night to the Dallas Mavericks, as well as we have gotten confirmation that Patrick Williams indeed does have his cast off, but it may not be as hopeful as some of us have thought. We'll break that down, probably some more right after this. All right, Bulls fans. So the Bulls lost a game that they should have lost last night. At the end of the day, with this game, and we had a live stream about it last night, so I'm not going to really get into the point very heavily. Petty Roosevelt showed up in the live stream last night too, so you guys may want to check that out. But with all that being said, the Chicago Bulls just did not play a good game last night. They didn't shoot the ball well. Zach shot terribly. The defense wasn't up to the level that we would expect it to be. The ball movement stopped at some point. And overall, in what was a very sloppy half for both teams, the Dallas Mavericks came in and they really made the adjustments that the Bulls didn't. At the end of the day, the Bulls were outcoached last night. That definitely played a big part in why the Bulls lost that game last night. The Mavericks made adjustments where the Bulls did not, unfortunately, and it cost us the game, as well as not having that defensive intensity, not shooting the ball very well. It seemed like the players were out there getting frustrated. And the Bulls had a double-digit lead at one point that they lost very quickly, and they never really had firm control over this game. Never really did the things that we usually do that make this team the tough team to beat, and it hurt the Bulls very much. We saw that last night in every stretch of the imagination. This game was just not a pretty game. It was one of those weird, tough, ugly games, and the Bulls did not just come out on the other end of it. Now, one thing that I do hope, the Bulls play at home against Detroit. It'll be a nice game to kind of get things back in order or whatever, watch some tape and things like that. But, at the end of the day, the Bulls weren't going to win. We weren't going to run the table and not lose any games. It does suck to lose in the way that we did. Had another loss of a third quarter. We got outscored in the fourth quarter by 10 points. Still could have very well won the game even after that third quarter. We lost that third quarter by 5 points. But at the end of the day, the Bulls lose this game in a game that they should have lost. Luka Doncic, who's one of my favorite players in the league, had a triple-double. He didn't shoot the ball very efficiently. But I do want to talk about a thing here, something I noticed in the live chat. A lot of Bulls fans make knee-jerk reactions, and they want to blame this loss just on Vooch. And, he's been the easy man to kind of point some things out, especially when we have defensive lapses or other big men go off. And it wasn't just Vooch being the problem in this game at all. This team did not have the overall defensive intensity that we expect from it. And yes, that includes Vooch. But, again, not to make any excuses, the Bulls lost a game that they played like they should have lost, right? The way that they played, they deserved this loss, the end of the winning streak, all of that stuff. The Dallas Mavericks get to go ahead, and they are now on a 6-game winning streak, and they get to continue their momentum. It would have been nice if it was us, but it just wasn't our night. Now, hopefully, as we gear up and get ready to play Brooklyn, hopefully we get Alex Caruso back. We'll see what's going on with Javonte Green. I don't expect him back anytime soon, but the Bulls are going to watch some tape. I think with having these couple of days off, the Bulls are really gonna, just really a day off, right? The Bulls are gonna really look, hopefully reevaluate, talk about some things the coaches can get them. Billy Donovan has talked about wanting to get more three-pointers in the correct way, and their defense. He's gonna definitely hammer that home in practice, I'm pretty sure. And so we just have to trust that our team, which has been a resilient team all season, is gonna make the proper adjustments to get things back in order and to get things back on track. It's one loss, right? Now, if this turns into a string of losses, then yeah, we have a different conversation that we need to have. And I think one of the key points here is that with the Chicago Bulls, the way that they lost this game are things and trends that we saw even over games that they were winning. They were just able to pull those games out. And this is why, like, on one of the live streams, the Bulls just played an ugly game. I know people didn't like the fact that I was talking very heavily about how if the Bulls keep playing this way against better competition, it was going to be a loss. And this is not to toot my own horn, not to say that I was right, but a lot of the things that the Bulls have been doing wrong, a lot of the things that the Bulls have done that have cost them leads at times and made the game harder on them down the stretch that it should have been, reared its ugly head in this game. And this is why we need to be able to objectively identify and look at this team and not just get caught up in the wins and look at the things that, hey, had a couple of things not gone our way, this could have very well been a loss for the Bulls. And we saw those things come to fruition in this game. And so hopefully the team is seeing the same thing, the coaching staff is seeing the same thing, and they're going to make some adjustments. And they need to, because as we get closer, as we face better competition, we have a hellacious set of games coming up. Detroit, not so much, but it could be a tough matchup for the Bulls. But then we know we got 2 national televised games against the Nets, against the Warriors coming back-to-back. The Bulls need to get their shit in gear before those games, or those games as much as we look at those games as a chance for us to show that we deserve to be and we expect to be able to play tough against those teams, listen, the Bulls need to get their shit again. I've been very vocal about the Brooklyn Nets put no fear in my heart, and that still holds true. But the Bulls are going to have to play a better brand of basketball overall, right? On the defensive end, knocking down their shots, being locked in, moving the ball around, not getting caught up in iso ball, especially for Zach LaVine to not allow bad officiating to completely take you out the game. There was one play in this game in which Zach tried to get for a foul. He got knocked on his butt, didn't get the foul call, and he just sat there and looked at the refs as the other team was getting on transition. Those things have to get. And I know Zach is a very emotional player, but we can't excuse that. You got to get back in the play, man. I get it. He's our best player. He's the player that they've built this team around. He's going to be here for a long time. All of those things. But Zach, that does not mean that we can't or should not call out the shit that we see. And Zach LaVine allowing the officiating and getting in his head and then he goes down, he makes these he takes these ridiculous shots trying to force the refs to make a foul call. We can't have that against great competition. We definitely can't have that in the playoffs. He's going to have to get it in. I get it. He wants the calls, and very many of those instances, he deserves to get the calls. But if you're not getting them, you got to go and you got to talk to the refs when there's a break in play or something like that. Do not allow it to take you out and you not get your ass up and run down and help your teammates on defense. So that's one of the things. This was, like I said, not a game that the Bulls deserve to win at all. It sucks that the streak was ended, but fuck it. It's one game. The Bulls, I've said before, I hope, and I don't see them losing 3 games back-to-back at any point in this season. But they're going to have to get their fucking shit in gear. And like I said, I trust the coaching staff. I trust this team. I trust the makeup of this team, the heart of this team to not allow themselves to stay down on this and to fix the issues that they have. Let me know what you guys think about the Bulls game down below. How did you feel about it? Do you agree with me over how things went kind of left and how those things that have went left in this game have been trending for now? Not the pick and roll defense. We've been pretty good on pick and roll defense. That was one thing that killed us, is just old fashioned pick and roll in this game. But again, well, let me know down below what you think about this game. So one thing that I do want to talk about before I go today is it has been confirmed that Patrick Williams did indeed get his cast removed. Now, they are not saying, still not accelerating his timetable at all. So like I said in that video, it could mean everything. It could mean nothing that he has his cast off. So we'll see. Continue to monitor with Patrick Williams. I know a lot of Bulls fans are saying that the Bulls are not going to trade Patrick Williams. If you think and rely on the hopes and dreams of the Bulls improving the forward by trading Patrick Williams, it's not happening. But with that being said, I said I'm not doing any more trade conversations until the trade deadline, and I'm sticking to that. But the fact that Patrick Williams is advancing, right, is good. It's good. I've had a broken wrist before. Other people in the comments have also said they have it, and you can come back sooner than that timetable. I understand why they made the timetable the way it is, but I would not be surprised if at any point Patrick Williams gets upgraded to questionable, and it just happens randomly. So but it's not coming anytime soon, right? Well, let me be clear in me saying that. If it does happen, I don't see until the earliest, maybe middle of March, probably more like the end of March, but we'll see. At the end of the day, we need him, and we want him to get healthy in the correct time period. You don't want to rush him back if he's not fully healthy and come back and it turned into a long-term thing. So we'll see what's going on with Patrick Williams. But I just wanted to give the official confirmation. I know we were speculating off photos and everything, that Patrick Williams did indeed have his cast removed, and we'll see what's going on with him as they continue to update us on his situation. But let me know what you guys think about everything down below. You guys know if there's any updates, any breaking news, I'll definitely be getting videos out to you. Make sure you're following the podcast at Bull Central Pod. Make sure you send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Next episode, I'll dive into the mailbag. So if you want to get us get in any text and or voicemails, you can do so at 773-270-2799. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, like I like to end every episode on. I love you guys. Go Bulls. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.